Hi, everyone, and welcome to this review of a new drug called Plenity. So, a little bit of background, and before we get started, as I'm sure many of you have had, years and years and years of experience of going back and forth with trying to find the perfect solution to this issue of weight. Um, I am in my early 40s. I have two kids. Work full time. Over the last year during the pandemic, I've accumulated some not so nice side effects from the pandemic, which came in the form of weight. So I've tried and I've worked on everything. I actually am a former athlete. I played tennis in college and have a very athletic mind frame. And so I can, run a 5K even though I'm not in the best shape that I've been in. So I last March 2020, when the pandemic started, obviously the gyms shut down, and it was difficult for anyone who was working remotely to do just about anything. And so, over the course of 10 or so months, 10 to 15 pounds accumulated, and that 10 to 15 became 20 pounds. So I was struggling, and I'm still struggling, and it's been really challenging to try and figure out something that I can fit into my lifestyle and my schedule, and also not give me any sort of side effects that medication causes. So some things that I've tried. I previously took a medication called Contrave. And the way that Contrave functions, from my understanding, is that it is a drug that is meant to inhibit your desire to eat. It contains two different drugs in it. One is Wellbutrin, which is an antidepressant, and the other is an anti-opioid, which works in the part of the brain which controls hunger and the need to be hungry. So I received a prescription from my family physician for Contrave. And I want to say this was 2019, January 2019. And I started at 240 pounds. I'm going to be transparent, tell you all about my weight, because I want to go on this journey as you're going on it. And it really was effective. You start with one pill a day, then you move up to one pill in the morning, one pill in the afternoon, then two in the morning, and then two in the afternoon. And this is before the pandemic started. So I would find myself coming home from work not hungry at all. And so between January this was January 2020 and March 2020, I lost about 10, 15 pounds. Your doctors don't recommend that you go on it for more than 3 months. So after 3 months, I stopped. And obviously, that part of my brain that was being suppressed turned right back on. So, short-term fix didn't really help. Don't like the side effects of medication. So, what next? And my brain has always gone back to what can I control and what are the things that I can control. I've done keto in the past. I've done calorie counting in the past. My Fitness Pal. I've had a personal trainer. I've done challenges. In the summer of 2020, my work had a resource that was intended for wellness programs. And so as part of the wellness program, you sign up for a 1 year not a weight loss challenge, but it's a program where you meet with a nutritionist in a group virtually. We met virtually every week for 6 months. You do weight check-ins, you document your food, and you, as a result, after doing it for a couple of months, you get some freebies. So the good thing about that is I was able to be in a community. I developed a great group virtually. We would check in with each other on Fitbit, make sure that we were doing challenges, but I wasn't losing any weight. So in late 2020, I decided to start keto again. And if anyone's done keto, they know it sucks. It's the worst. And not because it's so limiting. Like some folks love it because you can eat all the fat you want. I love vegetables and I love fruits, and I couldn't have bananas and apples and those fruits that you think are healthy and good for you. So when I started keto, which was near the end of 2020, I wasn't really like sold on it in my head. I wasn't sold on it. I knew that I wasn't going to do this long term. What I'm going to do is I'm going to insert right now some of the images of my weight charts. So like I said, I'm going to be transparent with you. I want to try to go on this journey with you all simultaneously. But I'm inserting the images of my weight charts between February and now. And you can see that I wasn't losing weight. And in fact, I was gaining weight. So come about a week and a half ago, I met with my cardiologist because I have high blood pressure. I'm pre-diabetic, and I was tired of it. I met with my cardiologist, and the first thing he said was, you need to stop with keto because your cholesterol is not getting any better, and it's probably hindering your success. He said, however, there is a new medication that has just been approved by the FDA, and it's not a medication per se. So come into the picture, Plenity. He mentioned that it was actually considered a medical device, and the purpose of it was to take space in your stomach before meals. And the idea was that it would help you get to your goal weight, and you'd program your brain into thoughtful, meaningful eating, meaning you're not just eating to eat, but you're actually thinking about the food that you're putting in your mouth. So this is all happening real time. What is it today, March? So sometime a week and a half ago, I got online. I didn't get a prescription from my cardiologist because he didn't have the time, but I went onto the website and found out that you can go online and get approved through the Plenity website. They ask you for a variety of information, your eating style, your workout style, if you had one. Your BMI needs to be between 25 and 40 to be approved for it. If you're over 40, then I think they turn you down and recommend medical procedures. And I could not find very much information or videos on this weight loss device. So I was really just winging it and trying to figure out whether this was going to work for me. And then the last thing they ask you when you're going through the approval process is to provide an image of yourself. So I actually had to send a full-size image, top to bottom, of how I looked and a face, as well as your ID, to prove that it's you. And I think what they're looking for, I don't even know what they're looking for, but they actually quickly approved me. Within 24 hours, I received notification from the doctor, whoever is on staff, and then within 24 hours of that approval, I received the medication or the device. So let me show you really quickly what came in the mail. So I received this box, and inside the box, open it up. There we go. So inside the box, you'll receive 4 vials that look like, and those 4 vials contain smaller, there was an instructional manual that came with it. It didn't provide you a lot of details. And there was a whole prescription, kind of all the background and the medical information. So there are 4 vials, and each of these vials is supposed to be a week-long resource. So like I said, I've been on this for 6 days now. This is my 6th day. So this is really early in the process, and that's why I'm trying to be transparent, because I'm going through this and I want to kind of document my process, and hopefully at some point it'll help someone who's considering it as well. So in each of the packages, you get these little vials like this. And they're really discreet, which is awesome, because if you're on the go, you can just put it in your pocket and take it. So they recommend that you take this 20 to 30 minutes before you eat lunch or dinner. You're not supposed to take it before breakfast. I don't know if they don't consider breakfast to be a large meal, but it's only before lunch and dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and open one up so you can see what they look like. I was concerned that they would be huge, and then I'll tell you about what the pills are actually supposed to do. Okay, so Each of the pills is about this big. You can see how big it is. You can look at it in comparison to my finger. And you take 3 of these pills before the meal with an entire, and what I've been doing is just taking a bottle because it's 16 ounces of water. So I drink an entire 16 ounces of water. But what I found over the first 2 days is that I wasn't feeling much of a difference, and they do say it takes a little while to kick in. However, one day I inadvertently took it an hour before my meal, and I am not joking, I was not hungry at all. Like I intermittent fast, so I generally don't eat breakfast, and then I eat lunch. I'll start with like a cup of coffee in the morning, and then I eat lunch at 12. So I took the pill at 11, and then by noon I wasn't hungry, which for me is amazing because I hadn't eaten in a really long time. So I ended up just having soup. Oh, and full disclosure, I am calorie counting using MyFitnessPal. I've given myself 1,700 calories a day, and I have been working out consistently. So I've been working out 4 or 5 days a week, and I just added weightlifting in this week. So I've done 2 days this week of weightlifting and 4 days of cardio. So I find that if you just get a bunch of bottles of water and you drink literally an entire bottle of water, what ends up happening with the pill, and I don't want to open it to waste one, is that it turns into this like cellulose gummy substance in your stomach, and it's supposed to fill a quarter of your stomach, if not more. So when it comes time to you eating, you eat less. So that is the idea behind it. Again, I've been on it since Sunday. It's now Friday, so I've taken it for 6 days. And with the exception of the first 2 days where I wasn't really seeing anything, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I felt dramatically less hungry. We had Thursday night. My husband was teaching a night class, so I didn't want to cook. So we got Chick-fil-A, and I got a Chick-fil-A wrap, and I only ate half of it. And I ate the rest for lunch today. So this is, I mean, super promising, and I'm really, really excited. And although it's not real weight loss, I'm going to insert an image of this week's weight goals. And you can see that I've started to decline a little bit. And I think part of that is also because keto was just working against me and it wasn't working for me. And so the moment I stopped it and the moment I started being more cognizant and mindful of the food that I was putting in my mouth, the better it was for my body. So I am going to continue. I'm going to continue with this journey, and I'm going to try to film a video every week to kind of tell you how I'm experiencing it, tell you how I'm feeling. I haven't felt any side effects, nothing negative, because again, it's not a drug. It's a weight loss device that fills up your stomach. And what it's intended to do is make you less hungry and eat less. So think of it as like a temporary lap band, or a lap band in a pill. So I'm actually going to go ahead and take my, no, I'm not going to take my dinner dose now. So I am really excited. And if you have any questions, I mean, I can answer what I can right now because it's, like I said, very new in the process. And so, but I will say there's a dearth of videos and, feedback. I think there's 1 or 2 videos on YouTube right now where both don't actually go into detail about the processes and how it's been with them, but I'm doing this week by week, and so I'm excited and I'm hopeful, and we will see what happens. So please reach out to me if you have any questions. Ask me in the chat box. Subscribe to my channel. I will put out notifications when I do upload a new video. So if you're trying to go on this journey with me, you can follow along, and we can do this together. So my goal is, right now I'm at 240, and my goal is to be at 200. I know that sounds like a lot, but for me, 200, I'm actually quite fit and very happy at 200. And I'm not looking at it as a number that on the scale, but for me, my weight loss is for keeping up with my kids, for my needs that don't want to cooperate with me anymore. And as I get older, I'm more and more aware of the kind of the nature of life and how I want to feel good about myself. And my husband has been fit since the day I met him, and he still consistently works out every day. And I want to do this for fitness. I want to feel confident and better about myself, and I want to be a role model. I also will begin on April 7th coaching my daughter's Girls on the Run League. Shout out Goder, Girls on the Run. This is the third year I've been coaching her. And so our end goal is to run a 5K in May. And by May, my goal is to have lost at least 15 pounds. To fit in the shirts that they send you, which are eensy weensy teeny weeny. So that's kind of where I am right now. I hope that you'll follow along with me. Thanks so much.